guys, how you doing? This is Shift Happens.
I'm Colin, and our new co-host, Fish.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, he's just like your typical disease. Like you hate having him the first time, but he always loves coming back.
You can't get rid of me. I'm here. It's here permanent. I'm here forever.
So today, due to one of our Instagram comments, we actually let me just get
Mike.
Mike Hess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guy.
Mike Hess commented on one of our Instagram posts and said, "Why don't we do our favorite cars under 150 horsepower?" Was the original comment. But with the problem of 150 horsepower is there's not a lot of modern examples of that. So we decided to up the ante a little bit and go with 200 horsepower.
I think 200 is a nice baseline to go off of.
Yeah, which
for the most part. Yeah.
Still, there's a lot of interesting cars that are in that list.
Oh, and, 100%.
I don't know about y'all, but I have mine ready to go, and it is quite the enjoyable little car.
No, you're probably gonna see me look down at my phone just to look up certain cars to verify. But still, there's a lot of interesting stuff under that horsepower rating.
So I'll go first. And what we're gonna do in this is we're gonna each pick our favorite under 200, and then we'll add more cars, that we think should make the list as well. So I would say my favorite would be the Ford Fiesta ST, at least that we got in the States. Unfortunately, we don't get them in the States anymore. Some cool ones over in the EU, but they ceased production quite a while ago in the States. Made 197 crank. They weighed next to nothing, and it was like a little marshmallow. And there's a lot you can do to them. And even now, I see a lot of people making like 5, 6, even 700 wheel on certain pages. Granted, with a lot of mods, but I think for a base car, it's a pretty cool car. And I've talked to a lot of people that, have driven, at the time, the Focus ST and the Fiesta ST. And a lot of them actually preferred driving the Fiesta ST. And so that was more fun to drive, more fun of a car overall. So that would be my number one pick. And one of you guys go over.
Well, because I'm just a dinosaur, I'm just gonna flat out say Fox 5 Mustang. The 302 never made over 200 horsepower. And, everybody goes, this is that. That statement will make someone mad, but still. 302 never made over 200 horse, but that car is just such a great platform to build off of. You can shove anything in that. But even if you just want something to slap an exhaust on, maybe slide in a camshaft, it's hard to make a 302 sound bad. They all sound good no matter what you do to them. They sound great. There's a lot you can do to them. And for an 80s, early 90s car, they're great looking cars. And it's always someone with a story about one, too.
Yeah, I mean, both of those picks are cool. Like the Fox Body Mustang being the timeless design that it is. Everybody uses them, from drag racing to road racing to drifting. They're all over. And the Ford Fiesta, with its rich, very, very rich rally races and victories underneath its belt, including people like Ken Block driving them.
Oh yeah, dude.
They're like little go-karts. I drove one, got to drive one once, and it literally felt like a go-kart. They handle well. For, no weight, you don't need a lot of power when you have no weight to the car. Nope. And that's why I think some people need to realize, it doesn't make that much power, but if the car weighs, I'm just going to say 2,500 pounds, 200 horsepower is actually a lot for that car.
Yes, it is, and that's what both of those cars have in common, is the power-to-weight ratio is phenomenal on both of them.
Because the Fox 5 was 3,000 pounds, and 185 horsepower and such a light chassis actually moved it well, and that's why it kept up with a lot of other American production cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And now here comes mine. And you know, I am the resident Chevy guy, and this might be appalling to some people, but I think because I'm a history buff, this car matters the most. The car I thought about doing, and I is the Porsche 550 Spider. Like a car was made from 1953 to 1956. They're just one of the most sleek design cars I've frankly ever seen, and I genuinely enjoy the car because it has so much history behind it. I mean, it was an open top two-seater car, and I mean it had a 1.5 liter flat four, and it was air cooled with dual overhead cams.
At the time, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
For how old that is. That's
Well, Porsche's always the
advanced.
type to go on and innovate, especially during those times.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Even in today's times, they're always innovating. And actually, one of Carroll Shelby's favorite cars, he had a Porsche of that vintage.
I believe it was a 356 Spider. I believe that was Carroll Shelby's his personal Porsche, but this is the car that came directly after.
Yeah.
So, the car made right around 110 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot, up until you realize it only weighed 1,200 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power to weight there is definitely
Yeah,
That's all you need.
it's wild. It has
that's a go kart.
4-speed manual transmission, lightweight tubular space frame, cool little car. Again, 1,213 pounds was the grand weight of that car. Top speed was 137 miles an hour.
But back then, that was fast.
Yeah.
100, you pushed over 100 horsepower in the 50s, they thought you were a madman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
especially with the 0 to 60 time being only 7 seconds.
Yeah.
That's better than most modern cars nowadays. Cheaper modern cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a very unique thing about this car is it had an independent suspension with torsion bars, which you didn't see a lot of that until like the 70s and 80s.
Late 60s with all the big land yachts.
Yeah, but for a tiny sports car, that's wild. Drum brakes, all four wheels, which was typical for that time.
Oh yeah.
Actually, this car won its class in the 24 Hours of Le Mans at Targa Florio and Carrera Pan America.
Damn.
It has a rich racing history too. It was nicknamed the Giant Killer due to its ability to outperform larger vehicles. So, obviously, the famous one of the more famous owners of this specific car was James Dean, and this is where we get into the fun part of this. The little bastard. I know YouTube is probably not going to like that word, but it's the name of the car. James Dean owned this car for a little while. He was obviously a Hollywood actor and a racing enthusiast. The name Little Bastard actually came from James Dean's friend Bill Heckman, and it had a custom 130 painted on the front, rear, and side panels of the car. But this car gained its infamy after it killed James Dean in 1955 on U.S. Route 466. After he, ate a guardrail at over 120 miles an hour.
That's not sound fun.
Well,
Way to go out, though.
yeah.
Love driving that car. You love driving
Hopefully
fast.
it was quick. Hopefully.
Oh, it was quick. He died on impact. Considering they only had a waist belt
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
they
time.
didn't have anything back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life safety. The good times.
But the really fun part about I shouldn't say fun because it was a tragedy, but cool history on Little Bastard specifically is when the car was recovered from the crash, somebody bought the car and parted it out to other 955 or other. Oh my god, I screwed that up. Porsche 550s, and every part that came off of Little Bastard that went into the other 550 Spiders resulted in a fatality. Every car that received a part from Little Bastard resulted in a fatality. I'm just gonna pull it back up on my phone. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. The James Dean actually collided with a 1950 Ford two-door, which resulted in died instantly, broken neck. Sorry, I misspoke. My bad. George Barris bought the car, claimed the wreck was cursed, sold and parted the car out. And yes, the parts all went to 5 or 6 other cars. I couldn't get definitive research on this, so I'm just going off of what I saw. But out of the 5 cars that received parts from Little Bastard, everyone who was driving them died under mysterious circumstances. And unfortunately, the remains of what is left of the car Little Bastard went missing 2 decades ago and hasn't been seen since.
Damn.
So, like, one of the most infamous cars in automotive history is just gone.
Up and gone.
Yeah, like there's either there's nothing left of it, or somebody has it stored away in a storage unit and is not letting it see the light of day because of the curse behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my car. And I'm sorry, my TISM really went and flew there.
Who knows? In 20 years, it could just pop back up fully restored, and then the curse magically is gone. That type of lore and stuff, you never know.
If Little Bastard comes back, like, that would be, I guarantee that'd break the internet for probably a solid week.
Yeah, for sure.
So. But yeah, like, going off of that, we're some of the other cars that, you know, have 200 horsepower that are actually really cool.
So those were our top picks for 200 and under. This one's gonna be a little controversial, but I think it's freaking sweet. The Nissan Juke Nismo and the Nissan Juke Nismo RS. As long as you got it with the 6-speed, not the CVT.
Cars were hideous. They're hideous. They actually,
you know what, man? They're definitely a selective taste, but dude, they are cool little.
It looks like a Volkswagen Bug that went to Burger King and never
My
left.
brother had
Under 200 horsepower subcompact SUVs, man. I think they're
well,
cool.
hot hatch,
I mean, to me,
but it wasn't hot.
It wasn't.
to me, that was like what the Kona M is today. I mean, you take your. I mean, granted, the Kona is ugly. You take your ugly little SUV, compact SUV, and you throw a decent motor in it, and you make it kind of quick.
Yeah.
And I think they're cool, man. I mean, the Nismo version made like 188 horsepower, but then the RS model made like 202 or something like that. And I think they're cool. I think they're cool little cars, especially from Nissan of all manufacturers, because they don't do anything cool nowadays.
No, that's
Nissan Z and GTR. That's all I can think of.
But my honorable mentions is the early 2000s Civic Si, Integra GSR. I think the Integra did make like 205, but still, those are cool cars. I will never discredit Honda with VTEC and all that. You put the right exhaust on, they actually sound pretty good. But once again, those cars were so ahead of their time, being hot hatches, and the performance behind Honda is you could do anything with them. You find one decent shape for a good price, pick it up.
Even newer ones. Even the newer ones. I mean, I think it's the L15 think it's called the L15 1.5 Turbo. I mean, it's kind of proven now. It's been out for a while. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as proven as a K20 or a K24. Granted, they all made less than, at least I'm like 99% sure they all made less than 200 from factory. But I think those are, still pretty cool too. With that,
Yeah.
Civic Si, then you get the R. Oof.
Yeah, the R was pretty cool.
Because I don't
Over 200,
Yeah.
but the R's are just.
The Ks are a good series. They are great engines. I do like Bs. The B series were good.
B18.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what came in the Integra.
I think early 2000s, I believe it's B. And if I'm saying this wrong, my one buddy's probably going to punch me in the head when this video comes out for being so misinformed. Because he used to build the hell out of all of them. He was a Honda guy before an LS guy.
I'm trying to think about it. I think the B series was late 90s.
Oh.
Because the
I think
Integra,
That was a predecessor to
because
the K
the
series.
Integra in the 90s, I'm again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they got a B18
Yeah.
with some modifications.
That's what I
Great
know.
motors all around.
Actually, another neat car type in Hondas that was definitely under 200 was the Del Sol.
I thought you were going to say the Fit, and I was about to get mad, but yes, I would have to agree.
And those had the D series, and those weren't really great. It took a lot of money to make them something, but
Yeah, but you see a lot of people with D series motors just throw some cheap Chinesium crap turbo on them and making 300 plus wheel. I mean,
they're fun little cars.
100%. Oh yeah.
And even if you just want someone to hop in and cruise that has a removable top, good car.
100%.
And it's awesome on gas.
Oh, I mean, I'm probably about to hurt some feelings here, but another great 200 horsepower car. It's the 1960s Mustangs.
Yeah.
The 289 V8 with a 2-barrel carburetor on it only made 200 horsepower.
Well, and here's
Sounds
the
about
thing
right at
with
the time.
small block Ford. They never made that great horsepower stock. The 302s, once again, even up to 1995, the 302 Windsor only made 195.
Yeah.
At the end of their run. Small block Ford never made good power unless you were going 351 Windsor.
Not even the 305 Chevys. Those were terrible.
Slow. 3.0 slow.
Yeah, like
Slow 05 or
I mean,
know.
that's what 1979 to 1994 is where that engine was prevalent. Because I believe it came in the C1500s as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can even get like a 3/4 ton and all. What's a 305? Because back in the day, you could get a straight 6 and a Ford up 3/4 ton, 1 ton. Slow as all hell, but hey, it was a work truck. Who gave a shit?
and pulled down the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
That's thing. You can run a 300 straight 6 with no oil.
Well,
You could bend a push rod in it, pull that push rod out, straighten it out of vice, slap it back in, you're good for another 50,000 miles.
while we're on that topic, the AMC 4-liter inline 6, those didn't make any power either.
No.
But
they were
reliable and made good torque.
They were
Oh, yeah.
torquey, and that's where the off-road community loves the 4.0.
I mean, I don't know if
The downfall of them was when they started introducing all the new OBD2 and all the fancy sensors.
Yeah.
That's when they had issues.
I feel like that's the case with like a lot of things nowadays, though.
Anything that was an antiquated platform that they kind of half-assed modernizing to keep it relevant. Those had the issues when they start making all the changes, cam sensors, different style of fuel injection, things that originally were carbureted.
Ooh, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up on my phone really.
While you're pulling it up, I'm going to bring up another controversial vehicle because I know people have strong opinions about Hyundai and Kia. The Hyundai Elantra N-Line and the older was it Forte GTs with the 1.6 turbos and the Veloster turbos before they became Veloster Ns. Again, small cars, under 200 horsepower, but they were fun little cars. And I think that's
They were 201 horsepower.
Oh,
Does that count?
oh man.
Oh,
We're gonna count it. We're gonna count it. We're
no.
gonna count it.
Wait, okay. I got another one. 1965 Chevy Corvair.
Ugly
Ew.
Cool as hell.
No.
Ew.
Rear engine,
The
turbo.
Falcon was a better car.
What?
The Ford Falcon was a better car.
110%, dude.
Yeah, but the Ford Falcon didn't come with a turbo. The 1965 Chevy Corvair came with a turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dude, again, if a car has a rich history, I love it. Again, history buff. You two are living in the modern age. I love anything that is older.
No, I appreciate everything. I think
How about in the 70s,
well, I
Cadillac?
think you're a
Corvair?
little biased of anything
No,
that's
I
not
have-
me too.
I
How
have
about
love
the
for
70s,
history.
where Cadillac had a 500 cubic inch big block that only made 150 horsepower?
Oh, that one's true too.
But once again, that was the Carter era, fuel embargo. Then, for some reason, we cared about emissions. And it
Good old
really,
emissions.
I don't know, emissions doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna get on that topic, a Ford Raptor drove from Alaska to Florida and created a 6.2 liter Ford Raptor drove from Alaska to Florida and created less emissions than a 2-stroke weed whacker.
Is that actually true?
That is actually true.
Damn.
And if you buy a brand new Prius and you buy a brand new Hummer H3, you know, the inline 5 ones,
Mhm.
the Prius had more emissions than the Hummer up until the Hummer hit 150,000 miles because the emissions that it cost to mine the lithium. So yeah, choke on that, you electric loving morons. I was gonna say something else, but I
Hey, you can call him whatever you want. You can say sucker. You can.
I'm not saying that.
I did.
But everybody out there who thinks that like electric cars are the future, like sure, some of them are
Tesla,
cool.
but it's still cool as hell.
Exactly, it's cool stuff.
Technology's cool. I would never own one.
The Fisker Karma. Fisker Karma was a good looking car, but
But I took off of EVs with some of the trainings I took for my job. Technically, where we are isn't a fit area for EV. Because
area.
because
talking
we
about
are in
the
an
region,
extreme
Buffalo?
weather region.
Oh,
Therefore,
Extremely
EVs
cold.
are not. This is not a suitable area for EVs.
Yeah, so like
but,
somewhere like California benefits and
certain parts,
well, yeah,
because
They're
desert is extreme
they're on
climate.
fire.
Well, that too, but
when you have to take into consideration of like climate of when you're buying a car, you shouldn't buy that car. But regardless, let's just talk about again another electric car, the Chevy Volt. You know how much it costs to replace the battery in that thing?
It's like that with almost every EV though. It
Yeah,
a
costs-
Hummer
it
battery is
costs-
60 grand.
It costs so much money to replace that battery.
The Chevy Volt. You bought that car brand new for $32,000. Brand new, top of the line, like every option selected was $32,000. The battery alone cost $27,000 to replace.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Well, a lot of materials in them. Excuse me. A lot
Still,
of material, and honestly, building batteries ain't that much of any process. But
yeah, but it's still creepy.
Mining
Yeah.
all that though.
yeah,
Is-
the lithium mines are crazy.
Again, more emissions than every other car on the planet.
Like a clip, I can't remember a TV show. It's something about like an oil tycoon guy.
Oh, Layman?
I believe so. It's Clint Eastwood. Something I can't remember whoever the old man is in it, but he went off because they showed some anti-oil person a wind turbine and said, the petroleum, the emissions for pouring the concrete, setting up the tower, the oil for the mechanisms, and oil's everywhere. Petroleum.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Somebody like that, but still, everybody keeps forgetting petroleum, oil, all that is used for everything in our lives. We will never get off of using it. And people think, oh, we just go to electric cars. That's all gotta be gone. No. What's in asphalt? What's in tires? What's in the plastics in these cars? You know, when they smash up and when they get smashed and they look like a broken Lego set in the road. That's
And
all
then,
it was.
and then the batteries for the EVs,
Mm-hmm.
they're not disposable.
No.
They don't break down.
There's a certain way to recycle them, but that recycling method is illegal in the States.
So how do we get rid of them?
India.
We throw them in a field. We buy out some farmer, get rid of our own agriculture, and build a graveyard in the middle of the country. And because I'm pretty sure, I think it's England, they have EV graveyards everywhere
Oh yeah, and
because you can't recycle them.
or you send them off to India because India is one of the only countries that actively recycles batteries.
And that's what I find
That
funny
like
about
spill.
this country. We're all about, recycling this, recycling that, recycle these bottles, recycle your cardboard, your cans, and all that other bullshit, but we can't recycle batteries from EV cars. But we
Batteries
should all
in
be
general.
driving them, though. We should all be driving them, though.
All I'm saying is,
It makes sense. It makes complete sense. Let's switch from plastic straws to freaking paper straws, too. That was a great idea.
that dissolved before they finished.
That was a great
idea.
idea.
But controversial opinion here, and I know somebody's gonna like this. God created dinosaurs so man could have fire-breathing drag cars going down an 8th mile track.
Yes.
I
agree.
Oh,
Dinosaur truth make my truck go vroom.
God.
The dinosaurs took one for the team, guys.
Any other vehicles we think worthy of mentioning?
Let's see.
Fiat 500 Abarth.
A Barth?
Yeah.
I would agree. Those are cool. I would never drive a Fiat. I don't like Fiat.
Yeah,
Fiat Chrysler. Corporation. But the Abarth 500. Those things are
The
cool.
part.
Mini Cooper.
S. I think the turbo ones make more than 2, but the supercharged ones didn't. Those are still pretty cool. Not really that reliable though.
And parts are extremely expensive.
They suck to work on. Let's take the intake manifold off so you can change your oil filter.
I mean, the Cobalt SS made a little. The supercharged
210.
Cobalt SS made a little bit more than 200, but
those
I'm
are
gonna throw that in there.
one.
They're cool.
I
And
want
same
one.
with the Saturn Ion Redline, which is even more rare. Those are cool.
Saturn.
The-
that whole Saturn.
Wait. Did the Saab 9.3 Aero produce over 200 horsepower?
I have to assume so. I think most of them
I
do.
don't know. I always forget about Saab. They were very part spinning across multiple manufacturers. Never really did
Especially
it for
when
me.
GM got involved.
Yeah, and then they had the Subaru.
210 horsepower.
We'll count it. It's a little over, but we'll count it. It's not 250. So it's a little smidge over, but we'll count it.
Hey, listen. All right, I hate to say it, but it is true. 180 horsepower at the wheels.
We're talking just from the factory, out of the,
And what
just,
they
what they
advertise.
advertise. We're not talking wheel, man. If we're talking wheel, we could add a lot more to this list.
You talk wheel, that starts hurting a lot of feelings.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, your car makes that to the wheels. That's what horsepower you have.
Every 7.3 Power Stroke and 6.0 Power Stroke owner, every Duramax.
Hey, you know what? We can add. I feel like we can add the 7.3 power.
Yeah.
The 7.3 IDI, yes. The 7.3 Power Stroke.
Well,
Yeah,
let's look it
man,
up.
That-
I think it was
that-
like 235.
Yeah.
Horsepower.
275.
Final production years. Early's probably 200.
Yeah,
But
really.
what's the thing? Those were the 7.3 was the largest diesel produced for a 3/4 ton, 1 ton truck.
Yeah.
They were torque monsters. That's what they were.
Slow as
but they could get the job done.
Every diesel owner ever is going to lose their mind at this because like, granted, you have a lot of torque, but horsepower is lacking in every manufacturer.
Well, nobody.
Cummins, Duramax, Power Stroke, they were all terrible on horsepower.
But
At
again,
the time,
they
yeah.
were work. You want torque.
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
Horsepower is how fast you hit the wall. Torque is how far you're taking the wall with you.
How much of the wall you're taking with you?
Yeah.
But the honorable mention, the 6.5 Detroit, which just sounds like a bag of hammers.
6'5",
passed around.
6'2". Oh, the Humvee. The Humvee for military applications. Those
I'm
poor.
trying
The poor
You
military.
hit two
guys.
hammers together, that's the sound of a 6.5 going down the road.
Kung, 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 kung.
And the 6.5 just hated starting.
Couldn't get over 55 miles.
They couldn't
an
start in
hour.
70-degree weather.
All the military guys out there know it, and they hate to. The worst
What did you
vehicle
say? You
ever.
couldn't start what?
You can't start a 6.5 Detroit, no matter how warm it is or how cold it is, it doesn't want to start.
Yeah, Colin over here though can suck start that mother.
Oh yeah, of course he could.
Wait, hold on, excuse me. Hold on. Oh.
Yes. Oh, 6.5 drove by.
Well, that's where we are. That's what we think. You know, some of the best cars under 200 under wheel. Wow. Best cars 200 horsepower or less. This has
You
been
screwed
Shit
up.
Happens. Have a good one.